Hey everybody, it's Comedex and welcome to the Edge of Eternities Sealed Play Booster Arena Direct. This is a best of one sealed event for 6,000 gems, high stakes, high variance event, where we're trying to get some physical Magic the Gathering cards. We are going to stop the recording whenever we get at least one booster box, but as you can see, so close, but no cigar last run, so we keep them coming. Let's get into the event here. Hope that we can open some great cards, draw well, play well, and dodge excellent bombs from our opponents. We'll see how things go for us as we head into the several event. We have double Nova Hellkite, which obviously leads us towards red pretty heavily here. That is the strongest red rare in the set. There's a Diadrine towards green-white counters and a Lightstall Inquisitor for another good white rare, so green-white's another path to take. Then Moonlit Meditation, very bad. Godless Shrine just fixing. Starwinder is, I think, a bit weaker than all the other rares. Most likely going to end up in red here if our red is not super bad. And whatever else we do from there will depend on the commons and uncommons. Wow, this is a wild sealed pool. It's all going to be almost all monocolored stuff. There are only two colorless spells. Both are borderline unplayable. And then there's one Biomech Engineer in green-blue. That's it. Just a bunch of monocolored stuff. So find our best two colors, jam them together, and see what we can do. Hoping that red is one of those two colors so we can get the double Hellkite deck. So white has pretty bad removal. Well, no, it's got all Fate Stalker as well. Okay, so we have Radiant Strike and Stalker for solid removal, Eject for begrudgingly playable removal, and then decent creature curve. So white is actually perfectly playable here. It's a little concerned when I didn't see any Banishing Lights in the 1-mana removal spell, but it looks fine. Blue has some really excellent card draw with 2 copies of Codecracker Hound. There's also Psionicist that can be like a Soul Ring on a stick, giving us 2 mana every turn if we're double spelling, which can be pretty gnarly. Divert Disaster is playable interaction. Tractor Beam is actually good interaction. Gigastorm Titan could get out pretty quick. Could go pretty aggressive blue curve here. Maybe blue-red. The double Codecracker Hound are quite appealing towards the blue. The black now, 1 Embrace Oblivion for removal and 1 Circuit Feeder. There's a lot of creatures here. Mostly filler ones like the Skittermaws, the Comet Crawler, the Beckoner. But then there's some good ones. Faithful, Circuit Feeder, Prospector, Kohler, Hole Carver. Black's fine. It's really awkward that like the non-creature spells are so bad though. I think the creatures are just okay here. Last but not least, come on, tons of great red removal. Double Orbital Plunge, Bombard, triple Plasma Bolt, double Nova Hellkite. Okay, we're playing red. And actually last color is green. We have Scoutlander for ramp and fixing, a couple Crashers at 4 mana. I don't love the Greenhouse. The Fate Maker's also pretty slow. Sky Stingers are filler. Green's just like a stack of like solid filler. I don't see any reason to really play the green though. Unless we like Splash and Diadrine, or we go green-blue at the core for Engineer, but almost 100% confidence just going to be red at the core for the double Hellkite. Actuator with 3 Plasma Bolts is actually a thing. I'm used to the actuators just not actually doing anything, but there's 3 bolts here, so we could do it. If we go red-black, we also gain access to Embrace Oblivion. That adds to the 1-mana spells for it. So that's interesting too. I need 10 playables out of my secondary color, because again, we don't really have any colorless playables. And I guess the Super Filler Sweeper Companion's really bad though. We've got an okay artifact count. We have Mech and Turbo Drone Actuator, 2 Lander tokens from Plunges. Maybe the Circuit Feeder actually plays pretty well. I like white's aggressive curve, though, to pair with the red, maybe. That's a playable direction to go. Blue looks fine, too. Black's quite fine. Slightly better actuator shenanigans. Like, we'll fill our 3 drops like a couple Skittermaws here. Honestly, I like basically every color pair here. Red, black, red, blue, and red, white looking best. I'm gonna go Boros with it. Boros aggro, great curve. Plenty of top end as well. I don't want to cut the 17th land because we also have a couple more 4-drops, a couple more 5-drops. And those hard casts later. Yep, Boros aggroed up. Let's just beat some people up. Get through this event here with as good of curve outs as possible. Let's just hop to it. Mono white opening hand is definitely awkward. But if we do top deck a mountain within a couple turns, then it's a very strong opener. Absurdly strong opener if we top deck a mountain. And we've got a Hellkite, but we will want 2 mountains for that by the time we want to like fully hard cast it. But if I just hit a mountain next turn, I go Turbo Drone into Luminary with haste. That'd be insane. We have hit none of our 9 mountains yet. Sad days. I'm gonna have to emergency eject my 1/1. That would be super embarrassing. Faller's Faithful. I could eject their Scrapper in response. That sounds completely insane to me, though. Give them 1 lander instead of 2 cards. Cannot possibly be right. I think we have to just hold on to eject, and then we just get to attack with everybody now that they only have a 1 toughness creature out. Oh, not like this arena. No play from our opponent with a ton of cards in hand. Could be like the board wipe here. Just gonna dram Luminary out, I think. When I say the board wipe, there's a lot of different ones they could have. Oh, wow. Okay. That does not bode confidence in them having a board wipe here. If they're going to spend that on a 3/2 and then they spend that on a 1/1. Okay, we're actually in the bestest spot ever. Double Alkite in the hand now. I could warp 1 out. I'm really in the market for the second red to just fully have it out forever. Yeah, we are just pulling all the removal in the world out on really insignificant creatures. Okay, now that I can't play anything relatively insignificant, I kind of don't have a choice but to warp a Hellkite and get a little damage in there. Flyers can beat a Hive Pool. I can eject the Hive Pool as well. Lets me eject and hit them here at least. But obviously would have preferred the mountain. Okay, if we ever find the mountain, they're probably dead. Oh, life gain though, with the Voidborn. Still dead to one Hellkite swing as of now. Oh, the Crusher's a 5 toughness flying blocker though. But it would be a chump block for a Hellkite because we deal 1 to it first. Mountain, mountain. No mountain. I think I Radiant Strike because Plunge is actually more flexible. Well, no, if I plunge, I get the second red off of the plunge. Yeah, I plunge here. For the lander token. In theory, Radiant Strike can only kill untapped artifact creatures, so if I'm trying to get blockers out of the way and that is the only goal, then Radiant Strike is the more narrow card, whereas Plunge can kill, you know, a non-artifact flying blocker or reach blocker that's untapped. But our other goal is hitting the red to be able to kill them with Hellkites. So, go towards that. They are dead if they don't have the instant speed removal in hand here. If they do, they're actually in quite a solid spot. Thanks to the Voidborn for life gain. Could actually really use a third mountain here. Ooh. It's tempting to try to kill them with that instead. Force removal against the full bore so they don't have their removal for the Hellkite. I think I still have to Hellkite though. So I can get Hellkite to make the 1/1 trade into the 2/2 and force the removal from them. Okay, this they have to have another instant speed removal spell for the second Hellkite. There's a Beckoner. This is after they've already played. Chunk of removal. 1, 2, 3, 4 now. Moment of truth. Okay, that was genuinely scary. I kind of thought I was gonna get the like 6th removal spell thrown at me there, but double Nova Hellkite gets there in the end, even if it takes a while to hit the mana we needed, and that is 1-0 heading to game 2. Arena disagrees with the 9-8 split. So you do not have 9 mountains in here. We're gonna give you all the plains both games. This one is bad enough I have to mulligan. We have just 1 on-color spell. Wow, that is pretty legit. 6-card hand. Inquisitor and Plasma Bolt for only 1. Expansionist and Luminary Warp for 2. We've got the 4-drop in hand off of the hard cast of Luminary later. The Expansionist, since we're on the draw here, get us the mana for the Luminary. Caverone is one of the better station lands. In the late game, they start turning all their lands into 3/2 hasters and buff the whole board every time they do it. I'm not going to take the trade here because I think I'm going to Plasma Bolt the Rover to keep threats on this board. But I might not do it till later, because I can still just Night Luminary for now. I think that's fine. And then I'll have a 2/3 blocker up for their 2/2. So I don't think I care too much about the Rover until they hold it back on blocks. But I guess, yeah, turn 3 it could be play Expansionist plus play Plasma Bolt. Since we're waiting for turn 3 for the Expansionist anyway. That way they have the third land down when I cast it. Perfect. Come on in, welcome to my face. Gene? Never mind, we're gonna kill that. Especially because I top decked the fourth land, so I really don't need the rover lander. I've got a lander off Expansionist, and bolt on Gene. Or I guess I was talking about, man. I have a lander off Expansionist, and I have a fourth land already. The train of thought goes sideways. I wonder what they're holding up here. For one in a red or one in a blue. We about to see. Just a little ping removal. I can't think of one. Edge of Eternities. Instance. It's not the Gale Blade. They would have played the Gale Blade. That's the Flash Flyer. It's not the tap a creature, draw a card. They would have played that as well. It's not the counter unless they pay 2. They would have played that. Maybe it's the Light Jammer? No, they would have cast Light Jammer on the... what it is. Desculpting Blast for the bounce spell. I feel like they probably would have played that as well. Weird. What the red spells? Could have been the +3/+2 till end of turn, but they could have used that to save Gene Pollinator and they're stuck on mana, so they would have used that. Could be the destroy target artifact. Or put 5 charge counters on a spacecraft. Yeah, that would be pretty bad here. It could be that. Or the first strike trick. Neither of those would have done anything for our opponent. I can either hit for 2 more damage by cracking 2 landers, or just play a Night Luminary and have a nice wide board to get around any 1-for-1 removal. Force them to have a board wipe. The only efficient board wipe they could have here is the uncommon deal 2 to everybody. Which they don't have in their hand yet, or they would have cast it already, probably. But that could be a top deck for them. Even if they have that board wipe now, since they didn't eat the nutrient block, it would be blow up everybody except Expansionist, then Expansionist just kills them off the landfall triggers by cracking 2 landers. So they tap out into being dead to Expansionist. Gain some life, draw a card. Alright, they skip through the turn. Play land for the landfall trigger for extra damage, send the whole team in, and probably kill them here. Seems like they have left the game. Alright, there we go. We are 2-0 now, heading into Game 3. Alright, here we are for Game 3. We are 2-0 right now. Locked in for at least a 50-50 record on this run. But this is a pretty big game for us here. This will decide whether or not we can get any gems back or not. As if we go 2-2, we get absolutely nothing back. But if we go 3-2, we get at least some of our entry fee back, at worst. Good draw for us. We didn't have a turn 2 play without that. Playing against a blue deck here. Blue-green it is. Xenomorph Imago. It's awkward because now I wish I could warp now for Plasma Bolt to do 3 damage, but I cannot. Could sack the 1/1 and the Plasma Bolt to kill Imago there. Probably wouldn't have been the worst attack. Then I don't put anything on the board this turn, but I am working my way towards an actuator, and I need Plasma Bolt in the grave when I play actuator to get value off of that. So just in the interest of getting that bolt in the grave, it could have been okay. Although the actuator also only triggers when I've voided. So if I did all that and then had nothing left on the board, I wouldn't have any way to trigger void next turn anyway for the actuator. So it's kind of awkward either way. Imago, a massive threat here. A 2-mana 3/3 flyer that can play even better, especially later in the game. It attacks as a 6/6. It can make their other stuff bigger as well. This is one of the strongest rares in the entire set. And it's a super bad sign. Our opponent's 3-color deck hits the correct lands for it naturally turn 2. And they are just jamming right now. Scoutlander ramp, get towards the 6 lands a little faster. Make sure they've got perfect mana set up as well. Sack all their green sources. Don't get another green. Have double black and a red. It's pretty terrifying. Gotta push as much damage as I can before they set up the crazy multicolor stuff they're ramping into here. If they hold up any blockers, it should be very easy for us to trigger Void next turn. The next turn could be incredible for us. If we like attack everybody, trigger Void, then I could Plasma Bolt, Actuator, recast Plasma Bolt. Okay. Literally 2 of the best rares in the entire set together here. And now they can just hit us and draw a card every turn off of Imago in the sky. Elegy Acolyte is the actual best rare in the whole set, and Imago is like the 5th best card in the entire set, counting mythics. Acolyte, there are mythics that are stronger than Acolyte, but it's the strongest non-mythic in the whole set. Ah. Our opponent is literally just 5-color all rares, and they've just hit perfected mana here. Now I can't trigger Void, so we're just going to tap all out. Draw the card. Thank you, Orbital Plunge. Genuinely very cool. What a draw. Now I get to kill Acolyte and Imago. Alternatively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 6. 10 damage plus 4. On board lethal, baby! Here we are for game 4 on the play. Always a tragedy to be on the play with the Expansionist in hand. No lander from our friend. But hey, still a solid hand. Tons of cheap removal. We just play an Expansionist as a 2-mana 3/3. Blow up everything they play to keep it coming in. Drawing the 3rd Plasma Bolt, I think we've got a little bit of a problem now. We could definitely use a 2nd threat over a 4th removal spell. Go, team, go. Expansionist and a dream, I believe in you, buddy. Playing against Black-White here. Monoist. Man, I would like to exile that thing. Except I 2-for myself to deal with it now. Grumble, grumble. Alright, you win. Comet Crawler. Not in love with the draws right now. Go land, equip Hilderblade. Do it. Do it. You know you want to equip. What are you doing, Arena? Now they get to draw an extra card every turn off Lightsmith. Unless I 2-for-1 myself for a second time this game. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Through ambition, I am remade. Even these strange metals answer to me.
Dude. I've genuinely drawn one spell all game. If I top deck a Nova Hellkite, I can win. Warp the Hellkite. It's 4 damage in the sky, plus 3 from Plasma Bolt. 7. Yeah, if they attack too aggressively and I hit Hellkite, that's like our only out here. We do have 2 different Hellkites.
Mana still obeys me here.
Our opponent does not know how deep the flood goes. Might as well at this point. Add to the comedy. Literally nothing we can do there. Obviously, there's an argument for not 2-for-1ing ourselves against the Monoist in that early game, but with a hand of 4 removal spells and nothing else to do, no proactive plays, I thought it was somewhat reasonable play to make. With the way that we drew, literally any way we play this game, we lose it hard. We drew a single spell the entire game and like 6 lands. I guess we didn't draw that far into the deck, so we drew 1 spell and 5 lands. That was every draw of the game. Frustrating. But what can you do? That's Magic. Especially best of 1. That'll be 3-1 heading into game number 5. Ooh, this is awkward. The draws have been really rough today. Obviously, the losing draw last game was terrible, but even 1 or 2 of the games that we ended up winning, we had sketchy hands that were a bit of a gamble to start with. Like the very first game of Magic took us a very long time to hit the double red. This hand is at least locked in on double red for Hellkite. It has Mechan to ramp towards it as well. Does need a white source, or it's basically a multi-5 for now. But very powerful spells available pretty quickly. I'm gonna keep this, but I'm not happy. Well, that is an incredible duel. First draw is a white spell. The only really bad draws in the deck right now are white spells. Any lands, red or white, are great draws. Any red spells are fine draws. Alright, luckily they're still just setting up their mana, but they have a very, very good mana base in that sealed pool. Beautiful, right on time. We find the plains here. Makes up for that draw last turn. Our opponent being on a bunch of different colors makes me want to deal with Gene Pollinator as quickly as possible. I think I'm going to play a little slower, hit them a little less hard right now, just to deal with Pollinator immediately. Keep them off of their bigger plays. If Pollinator had 1 toughness, that'd be such a great Hellkite turn. But it is bigger than the Sentinel Stalwart. Bombard and get it back. Plasma Bolt and get it out of here again. It's very funny, but I also think it's right. Just overkill it because it's funnier that way. I was definitely hitting for Hellkite damage this turn regardless. Pangling. Full bore. Am I aggressive enough to just cash in full bore damage here? I hit for 6. Just double lightning bolt them instead of use this to kill a creature. It's kind of crazy, but I think that's sort of the position I'm in here. I'm pretty okay with that. We're seeing a deck that has like every color under the sun that was really trying to resolve a ramp card, so we are really just trying to kill them before they hit the great late game stuff that they probably have access to here. So just spending resources to push damage seems very viable. Difficult surveil choices for our opponent, but they are going to keep them both on top. Imagine land. Ka-ching! Fate Maker getting warped in for the counter on the Penguin. Stations 3 out of 4 counters on a sweeper, since it's going to go away anyway. Send in the Penguin. Okay. What is about to happen here? 2 mana removal for Hellkite, I guess? I have no other damage I can haste in. Send in the whole team and play Trooper, I think. I have absolutely no idea what's about to happen here, but I guess we'll see. Oh, Biosynthetic Burst? That's tragic for you. Alright. 4-1 now. We are in the money again. 6,000 gems to play this event. We are now at 7,200 and a bunch of packs, I believe. So another great run here with just some more aggressive nonsense. Yeah. Great value here, but obviously we keep playing so we can get some booster boxes. So let's head on into round number 6. All right, game number 6. We're on the play, but we don't start till turn 3. Still going to keep here. Both of our colors and some powerful spells. Virus Beetle. is annoying. Oh, Inquisitor, you are fashionably late. That's quite good here. Quite the top deck. They have a focus fire in their hand. No, it was holding for them right there. So deal 2 to a tapped creature, give indestructible, maybe? Okay, it's not holding right now, though. Okay, now it is. Yeah, so they have deal 2 or target creature gets indestructible till end of turn. Pull open the notepad. So I'm pretty confident that it's that. I mean, it could be full control mode, but such is the way. Depressurize a coordinator, sure. Get rid of their Light Blade. Okay, I forgot about that card. It could be that too, because they can flash it even if they don't have a creature on board. Yeah, so it was probably that. Unless they had double 1 white mana instant, which is quite unlikely. If I top deck the land, I'm going to wish that I ejected right now so I could just play Hellkite and go. If I don't top deck the land, though, I can just Stalker the Beckoner, and I don't care that much if they kill Stalker. I think we just wait. Sick. Actually happy not to draw the land. I mean, not happy, but it makes that line the correct line. If I had perfect information on what my top deck was going to be. Ooh, I'd love to Hellkite, but I definitely need to eject that. We have the Hellkite to be resilient through a board wipe, so I'm dropping mech in here and going big. One of the strongest mythics in the whole set. Every time they double spell, they get 2 blockers or a counter on the entire board. Oh. Choose the counter there, alright. They're dead to Hellkite. Thanks to Plasma Bolts. Because they take 4 in the sky, and then if I void with Plasma Bolt, they're dead. So I do this. They either die by taking 1 to the bolt, or they die because they trigger void and take 3 to the bolts. Or sorry, 2 to the bolt, or 3 to the bolt with the void. Alright, 5-1. We are very far in the money off of this Arena Direct now, and we're only a single win away from getting some physical magic cards, some Edge of Eternities play boosters to have in the collection. Yeah, great run here. 10,800 gems and a bunch of packs is the worst prize out possible. We take those. Here we are on the play. I usually like leading with a Plains when I have Plasma Bolt in my hand to kind of hide the information that I have a Plasma Bolt in my hand. But when I have 2 in hand, technically there are strange situations where I might want to be able to cast 2 Plasma Bolts turn 2. It's insanely unlikely, but I should leave myself open to that possibility. You got the counter for Luminary? Hey, okay with me? See you, Luminary. If they have double counter, I'll be much less happy. But I only have 1 threat to play here. I have nothing I can bait the counter out with. Ooh, they don't have double counter. Let's go. Go to 7. I will not discard this hand. Stalker plus Bolt is an insane turn. That makes it real hard for them to live. And that's how you win a booster box! Have your opponent play a single spell in the entire game. Oh no, they played 2. We had the Bolt for the operative though. Okay. We had a solid hand there. I wouldn't say we had Magical Christmas Land hand because our early plays weren't that scary. We played a 1-1 until turn 4. But the top end was great, and our opponent just didn't have interaction in their hand past the first counter spell. Lucky, lucky game there. And that's all it takes. As easy as it is to randomly get knocked out of these events at 0-2 or 1-2, as we saw multiple times for the first 2 or 3 runs this time around, it is just as easy to randomly get a free win. Sometimes get a few of those in a row and make it to the booster box. So that is it. We got at least 1 booster box out of this Arena Direct now. I'm finally free from Edge of Eternity's Best of 1 sealed, and we will go back to doing a bunch of drafts after this, but we'll see if we can't make this an absolute banger and get the double box out of this run. So without further ado, let's head into the final game of Magic for the Edge of Eternity's Play Booster Arena Direct, and the final game of Magic for this run. All right, here we are on the draw for the final game of Magic. We've got a weaker opener here, but it's got great interaction with Bolt, Plunge, and Stalker. Both of our colors as well. This is kind of a pretty definitive keep here, but we are hoping to draw into some great threats as our draws for the game. We draw more removal for now, playing against green-red. Blooming Stinger. Alright, Plasma Bolt goes hard against that. Voodoo. Pangling. Really happy with any of our removal against that. Till 4 mana. I don't want to give them a lander this early in the game. At 4, though, it's a fine Stalker target. Alright, so we're going to Stalker target it, and then they're probably going to have Bombard for Stalker. Could Plasma Bolt instead, then. Allows me to play around Bombard from our opponent. I can just attack with security and not worry about it. There's 2 cards they could have here. They're equally deep on green and red on board, so either they have the Indestructible trick and Plasma Bolt is worse, or they have the Bombard and All Fate Stalker is worse. So it's kind of a coin toss here. I'll go for the Plasma Bolt. Worst case scenario, a 1-for-1 trade of a Plasma Bolt for the Indestructible trick is fine to get out of the way for the late game. Galactic Wayfarer. There's a plunge target. And I don't think... period. But I don't think they have the Indestructible trick, because I think that Pangolin beat the Plasma Bolts. Have a bigger Pangolin around forever would have been a real solid line for our opponents, so I think this should die to plunge. But technically they could still have the Indestructible trick and just use it this time. Play the Crater of Behemoth-y thing. They have enough lands now we can just eject when they finally play a really scary card. which I think I would want to do over all Fate Stalker because they're still quite likely to just blow something up. Okay, now they're less likely. 2 cards in their hand. We've gotten rid of 1 removal. We are gonna be staring at each other for a while, it seems. We have to choose between saving this to be able to do a bolt for 3 instead of 2, or just cracking it to be less likely to draw another land. What a surprise. There is a Godmaw. No haste, so I could just Stalker it, and then have them removal the Stalker, and then eject it. I'm gonna get rid of the land. From the deck here. Be more likely to be able to double spell alongside the Stalker as well. Yeah, now I can play Stalker and Turbo Drone. Although, is it better to hold up Emergency Eject? It's probably better to hold up Emergency Eject. Because if I play Stalker and Drone, and then they untap and blow up Stalker, then they can like play a land and crack a lander and haste me for like a bajillion damage here. I mean, I guess it's 8 damage, right? Kill Stalker. This is back. Play a land. This is haste. Get another land. This is 8 damage with haste. Yeah, I'm a scared man. I'm going to hold up eject here. But I think it's reasonable to play drone here. Because the worst case scenario when you're at 18 isn't that astronomical. We're still at 10 and we just kill it later. Oh god. They have one of those too. No double removal, please. Okay. They don't have the removal for Stalker, so I will eject the Hellkite. Oh, they do? They have Close Encounter? Close Encounter would resolve even if I kill the Hellkite. Because it doesn't care if it's still around, so now I just die to a Godmaw. Alright. I would be mad if I wasn't free of Edge of Eternities Best of One sealed, but we got a box, so I will take my freedom and be done with it. Finally. Spider-Man, come out already, please. Well, fake Spider-Man, because this is Arena. Oh my god, yeah, we were so dead no matter how we played it. We were in a position where we had... If they had any way to blow up the all Fate Stalker, no way to kill more than 1 bomb creature, and then they played 3 of them, so, you know, you got me. Alright. That will be the end of the Edge of Eternities Arena Direct, the end of Edge of Eternities Competitive Limited. I don't believe there will be another Arena Direct or Arena Open for this set, so we do end it off with a bang, at least, getting a box here in the end. And it cost us $100, so fair trade, spend $100, get a Play Booster box. I can sell the box for $100 and basically nothing happened. Yeah, I did enough of these runs that I did have to spend 100 on gems, so we're not like in the money out of this run. If we got 2 boxes, if we got the 2-box prize out, we would have been definitely in the money, but pretty much broke even here, which is perfectly fine. We've gotten really, really good value off the other runs. The Collector Booster run, we got pretty decent value because the Collector Booster is worth quite a bit. And then the Final Fantasy runs, we got really good value. So we're still ahead on Arena for the year by quite a lot. So I can take a... I could take a fair trade here. I was going to say I could take a hit, I could take a loss, but this wasn't a loss. Obviously, I did lose a lot of games early, but won a lot of games here towards the end. And when you count how much money I spent to play and how much money the box that I won is worth, it was just a wash, right? Spent $100 for a $120 booster box, which means that I could reasonably sell it for $100. Can't really get the full 120 out of it. Yep, didn't quite get to the double box in the end, but let's be honest, what do I do with these play booster boxes? Either I save them to draft with friends and family when I really like the set. Those are the only times that I really want to win a lot of boxes and I super care, like we did with Final Fantasy. Or if I am not the biggest fan of the set, I just sell the boxes, and I'm going to sell the Edge of Eternities play booster box and the collector box, probably. Although I haven't sold any of the collector boxes for the year, so it'd be really cool to collect one of each and have them like on display. One collector box of each set for the year. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I have no interest in drafting this set in paper with any friends. So we're just gonna, get our $100 back and get ready for the next set. I'm really hoping with the launch of Spider-Man that even though Arena does not have the rights to use Spider-Man's likeness on the digital version of Magic the Gathering, I'm hoping that they still have the right to run Arena Directs to where it'll just say you win the physical version of these cards. Because I think Spider-Man would be a really cool set to get some paper cards for. I know Universes Beyond is not for everybody, but Casual Commander Universes Beyond is super fun to me. My favorite decks are my Fallout decks that I have built, and also the just Universes Beyond hodgepodge with SpongeBob as the commander with every different universe. So I really enjoy building decks around like specific Universes Beyond characters and stuff that I like. And I think it'd be fun to build some Spider-Man villains in Commander. So it'd be pretty fun to win some Spider-Man cards if they let us do that on Arena. I don't know how the legal licensing stuff works, if they can do that or not, but I imagine they could if it just says this is Through the Omen Paths Arena Direct. If you win this, you get the physical, you get the corresponding physical box. And everybody like knows what that means, because the Through the Omen Paths is the in-universe version of the Spider-Man cards, so the corresponding physical cards are just the Spider-Man cards. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. We'll see what happens. But I'm still excited for the next draft set. It's I'm getting a little antsy here. It's been over a month since the launch of Edge of Eternities, and that is always when I get antsy, even with great sets. So I'm definitely very ready for new Magic cards, new drafting, new sealed, and hopefully it's not too far from us, because I think that's going to do it for competitive Magic for the near future. But that gigantic ramble out of the way, I figure since we got the box so quickly here, it took less than an hour after editing, that I had time to ramble for anybody who's interested. But with the ramble out of the way, I will finally go ahead and end this video for now. That is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, subscribe to tell the YouTube out and send this more in a recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.